It all began with a video that swept across South Korea. The clip showed a Korean student in an online English class, repeating phrases after his teacher, a man with a flawless American accent. His intonation and rhythm were so natural that everyone assumed he was American. The video was shared on forums and in parent chat groups, quickly becoming the gold standard for English lessons. Comments poured in. "This is the accent my child needs," and "he sounds like a Hollywood actor." The teacher's method was engaging, his patience clear, and his encouragement made the student comfortable. Soon, university students, business professionals, and even other teachers were analyzing his technique. People admired how he broke down complex sentences and pronounced tricky sounds perfectly. Compilation videos of his best teaching moments appeared, fueling the mystery around his identity. He became the faceless ideal of English fluency, a goal that suddenly felt attainable. The video tapped into Korea's deep desire for global competitiveness through English. For decades, the country invested billions in English education, prioritizing teachers from Western countries. This video seemed to reinforce that preference, showcasing what everyone believed was the pinnacle of native English instruction. But the truth behind the teacher's identity was about to upend everything. The stage was set for a national conversation that would challenge long-held beliefs. No one expected that this viral moment would spark a revolution in how Koreans viewed English mastery. The hunt for the mystery teacher intensified. Online sleuths dissected every detail of the video, from the software to blurred company logos. Soon, someone traced the teacher to a well-known platform, not in the US, but in the Philippines. There he was, Miguel, from Manila, with the perfect American accent. The revelation stunned the nation. "A Filipino? I was sure he was from California," read one comment. The forum exploded as people realized the teacher they'd praised as the ideal American was, in fact, Filipino. This challenged a deep-rooted belief that only native speakers from the West could teach real English. The shock forced a moment of national introspection. If a Filipino could sound this fluent, what did that mean for Korea's billion-dollar English industry? Suddenly, the lines between native and non-native were blurred. Miguel became an overnight celebrity, his story picked up by news outlets everywhere. He was no longer just a teacher, but a symbol of a vast, overlooked pool of Filipino English educators. The real surprise wasn't just Miguel's accent, it was the realization that a nation of skilled English speakers had been next door all along. The conversation was only beginning. Miguel's story ignited a fierce national debate. What does real English sound like? For years, Korea idolized the accents of CNN anchors and Hollywood stars, but Miguel's flawless non-native accent threw this belief into chaos. Traditionalists argued only native speakers could teach true fluency and cultural nuance. Others insisted clarity and effective communication mattered more than birthplace or accent. Why care if a teacher is from Boston or Batangas as long as they're clear? One student tweeted. The debate forced Korea to reconsider its goals, sound American, or become confident global communicators. Miguel's video became evidence for a new, inclusive approach. The shock of his identity cracked open a door to a broader, more practical view of English. As the debate raged, people looked closer at what made Filipino teachers so effective. Their own experience learning English as a second language gave them empathy and insight into students' struggles. Filipino teachers were praised for patience, encouragement, and creating a safe space to make mistakes. One mother shared, "My son's Filipino teacher broke down 3 until he got it, never making him feel stupid." Their methodical, supportive approach helped students build confidence. Cultural similarities between the Philippines and Korea fostered a comfortable classroom dynamic. Filipino teachers blended professionalism with warmth, helping shy students open up. Their globally comprehensible English became an ideal model for international communication. They weren't just teaching language, they were coaching students through the learning process. The result, a clear accent, empathetic teaching, and a relatable presence. Many Korean learners, once skeptical, found learning with Filipino teachers a positive, transformative experience. The most powerful evidence came from students and families. Stories flooded social media, like Mr. Park, a businessman who'd struggled with English for years. Native speaker classes left him intimidated, but with his Filipino teacher, John, he rebuilt his confidence. And your goal isn't to sound like a news anchor, it's to be understood, she told him. After 6 months, he was leading presentations in English. Parents shared how their shy children blossomed under Filipino teachers. One mother wrote, My daughter used to cry before lessons with a British tutor. Now, with teacher Grace from Cebu, she loves English. Grace used songs and games, making learning fun and boosting confidence. These testimonials were more convincing than any ad campaign. Students gained not just language skills but confidence and curiosity about the world. Families saw real results, not just in test scores but in happiness and willingness to communicate. These stories shifted the conversation from theory to practical success. The heart of the movement became connection, encouragement, and effective teaching, regardless of a teacher's passport. The national debate was now grounded in real, life-changing experiences. Filipino teachers were transforming lives, one lesson at a time. The story exploded into mainstream media. Major networks aired reports on the rise of Filipino English teachers, featuring interviews with students, parents, and the teachers themselves. Miguel became a TV sensation, his charm and flawless English captivating the nation. Documentaries showed state-of-the-art training centers in Manila and Cebu, dismantling the myth that Filipino teachers were a cheaper option. Popular dramas and variety shows began featuring Filipino English tutors, normalizing their presence in Korean culture. The conversation spread to neighboring countries, inspiring similar debates about English education. Miguel's story became a regional case study in overcoming the native speaker-only mindset. The movement had gone global, sparking a Pan-Asian dialogue about the future of English education. Linguists and experts soon joined the conversation. Dr. David Crystal explained that the idea of a single correct English is outdated. World Englishes now coexist. The most valuable English is internationally intelligible. Studies showed Filipino teachers often produce better results for beginners thanks to their ability to explain complex rules. Experts argued Filipino English was not deficient, but an ideal model for global communication. Their neutral, clear accent was easier for non-native speakers to understand than many regional Western accents. Academic support legitimized the shift, moving the debate beyond opinion to research-backed policy. Educational institutions began to endorse a more inclusive approach. The consensus: the best teachers are defined by skill, not passport. Filipino educators were recognized as exceptionally well-suited for the global classroom. Public support and expert validation led to real change in the industry. Online schools began proudly marketing their Filipino teachers, replacing stock photos with real faces. Slogans shifted from "Learn from a real American" to "Learn global English with our expert teachers." Parents actively sought out Filipino teachers, and demand soared. Companies expanded operations in the Philippines, investing in recruitment and training. School boards piloted programs with Filipino teachers, finding them effective and cost-efficient. The focus shifted from nationality to qualifications and teaching skill. Some elite academies resisted, clinging to the West is best mindset. But the overwhelming evidence and economic logic made the embrace of Filipino educators unstoppable. The industry was moving toward a more inclusive, effective model. Filipino teachers were now seen as valuable assets, not budget alternatives. The revolution in English education was well underway. The viral video's legacy is a transformed relationship with English in Korea. Students now see fluency as connection, not imitation of a specific accent. Filipino teachers have built bridges of understanding and friendship. They're respected as skilled professionals and cultural ambassadors across Asia. Their success has set a new global standard for English education. Korea's journey is now a model for other countries to follow. The concept of global English has taken root, a language for everyone, not just the West. The movement's legacy is connection between teacher and student, between nations, and with the world. The initial shock has become deep appreciation. Filipino teachers have taught Korea and the world to value skill, empathy, and diversity in education.